Right now in Gaza, there's a humanitarian disaster unfolding. It's been unfolding ever since the current conflict between Israel and Hamas broke out. But let's be honest, it's been unfolding for 75 years. 75 years since Israel declared its independence and began what is now known as the Nakba, the catastrophe on the Palestinian people, stealing their homes, stealing their land, murdering their men, and driving the survivors into an exile. In the case of Gaza, this exile has put them into what amounts to an open-air concentration camp, a giant prison of humanity where every aspect of the life of these Palestinian refugees is controlled and dominated by Israel. You know, when we talk about what happened on October 7th, we can reflect on the horror of the innocent civilians who got caught up in this, Israeli and Palestinian alike. Let there be no doubt, there were innocent Israelis who were killed as a result of the Hamas attack. At least we have the intellectual honesty, the integrity to recognize them as innocent. Unlike the Israeli chief of staff, who has said there are no innocent civilians in Gaza. You know, this reflects the approach Israel has taken towards the population of Gaza, indeed towards the Palestinian population as a whole. They don't treat them as humans. They don't treat them the way humanity should treat humanity. They treat them as something less. They treat them as animals to be ushered here, there, to be fed one day, not fed the next, to be left out in the cold one day, maybe bring them in the next. That's not how human beings treat human beings. And one has to wonder why it's taken Hamas this long to try and bring this issue to a head. Yes, Hamas has carried out terrorist acts, or if you're on the Palestinian cause, acts of resistance. It doesn't matter what label you put on it. You know, one man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist. We know how that works. But again, let's look at it from the viewpoint of the Israelis for a second. David Ben-Gurion, the founding father of Israel, Israel's first president, said that the Arabs and the Israelis, the Arabs would be idiots to make treaties and agreements with Israel because Israel has stolen their land. Israel has occupied their land. Israel has brutalized them. And he understands the source of the Palestinian angst, anxiety, anger. But he says it's okay because this is God's will, that the Holy Land is God's gift to the Jewish people, and it's just a tragedy that the Palestinians got caught in the middle. Moshe Dayan issuing a eulogy to an Israeli settler named Roy Rutenberg in 1956. Roy Rutenberg was killed in a kibbutz outside of Gaza by angry Palestinians who were imprisoned in Gaza. He said, we don't look to the Palestinians and blame them. The blame is not theirs. They are in this prison looking out at us with hate-filled eyes because we have stolen their lands. We have occupied their lands. We are tilling the lands that their father tilled. They hate us, and we understand that they hate us. We need to blame ourselves, blame our own. Why? Because we forgot, he said, that in doing what we have done, in seeking our destiny, we forgot that we must continuously hold the sword in our hand, that we can never forget that as we till the soil, we must also take notion of the need to repel the anger coming from Gaza, that the weight of Gaza is on our collective shoulders. What does he mean by that, the weight of Gaza? The weight of 2 million Palestinian human beings. These aren't animals. This is not a statistic. These are human lives. They matter. And yet, for decades, the world has not acted as if they do matter because we have given Israel a clean bill of health to do whatever it wants when it comes to resolving the Palestinian problem with no regard to the humanity, the dignity of the Palestinian people. Israel has implemented a policy. The English language, it's mowing the grass. Dahiwa is the policy that the Israelis have put on it. Mowing the grass, what does that mean? It sounds nice. It sounds copacetic, mowing the grass. It means mowing the people, mowing the Palestinian people, mowing the children of Palestine, mowing the women of China. And when I say mow, I mean kill. I mean murdering them, knocking them down like you would grass at harvest, mowing the grass. It's Israel's policy of disproportionate force. It's Israel's policy of deliberately targeting civilian populations to crush the will to resist. It is by definition a war crime. You are not allowed to deliberately target civilian populations. International humanitarian law has made this clear. And yet Israel not only does it, but acknowledges it as its official policy, and the world is silent. The world is silent. Nobody speaks out about this. Nobody has spoken out about it. It's allowed to happen because that's the way it is. You see, in order to accept Israel in the family of nations, you have to accept the principles of Zionism, political Zionism. You have to accept the notion that Israel and the Israelis, it's an exceptional nation populated by an exceptional people, that the normal rules and regulations don't apply to them, that because they are God's chosen people, they are allowed to do unto others no matter what, and they will not allow others to do unto them.